Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Hello, hi. You speak English, right?
I do speak English.
Oh, fantastic. What's your name?
Mila, and where are you from?
Mila. I'm Jimmy. I'm from KPFK, Los Angeles, and I was just wanted to. So there was a peace deal a month after that they'd all agreed to, and then Boris Johnson flew in. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar what you're referring to, but unfortunately it's really difficult to negotiate with Russia because imagine if somebody's attacking you, like right now, raping you, killing you, and then the rest of the world is like, please try to negotiate. It's really difficult to do that. I'm sorry, I don't remember what event you're speaking about, but right now there is no peace deal on the table except the peace formula that President Zelensky put together, which the first number of what needs to be done is Russia has to withdraw troops from Ukraine, and then from there on, step by step, there are outlined steps of what has to happen for the peace to come together. And Zelensky also did a peace summit a few months ago in Switzerland, outlining these steps, encouraging other countries to be a part of it.
So, why do you think Russia invaded Ukraine?
I think they are trying to eradicate us as people. I think they want to take our land. I think they don't care about what happens to it, which is why there is genocide, ecocide, all kinds of things that they're doing. Their motivations, it's really difficult for a person that is sane, not insane, to understand motivations of Russians. But from what I know, Russian culture is very imperialistic in its view. They think, not just Putin, the Russian people tend to think that other countries kind of belong to them. There's many colonized countries within Russian vicinity. All the countries that are east where Russia takes the natural resources from, and so they want to colonize Ukraine the same way because we have amazing natural resources. Before the Budapest Agreement, we had the biggest nuclear arms in Europe, and we have the biggest nuclear power station in Europe. So those are just some reasons why. But why he does it, I can't answer it.
And do you think the threat of Ukraine entering NATO had anything to do with it?
No, I don't think so because Ukraine is not part of NATO. But now I think NATO would benefit greatly from having Ukraine as part of it because we're fighting the biggest evil in the world. We're not just fighting Russia, we're fighting North Korea, they're sending weapons and supporting Russia, Iran, China who's supplying weapons. I think India is buying up all the oil from Russia. So we're not just fighting, Russia is the face of it, of course. So it's just to say that we have the credibility that nobody else in Europe has right now. So I feel like NATO should want us now. But that's not the reason why they invaded because we were never part of NATO. So that makes no sense.
So do you know what the problem was with the Minsk Accords? Are you familiar with the Minsk peace agreement?
I don't remember. If you can remind me what it said.
Yeah, so it was supposed to get after the Maidan coup. You're familiar with the Maidan coup?
Maidan, yes.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that? That we had a democratically elected president, but then they overthrew him.
He wasn't necessarily democratically elected, which is why Maidan happened, because he didn't want us to be a part of the European Union, and he was placed there by Russian proxies. I feel like, I can't speak really well on that subject, but it was a very important part in our history. I don't know how this relates to the convention today and the war that's happening in Ukraine, except this was a stepping stone, and it proves how Ukrainian people seek and fight for freedom, the Maidan in itself. But as you might know, a lot of people were killed that day. So it was a very sad but important step in for Ukrainian democracy. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Well, the story that I've heard was that there was the coup in 2014 that was instigated by the CIA, and then
It wasn't instigated by the CIA. I'm not sure where you're getting your information.
okay, and then the government of Ukraine and the Azov battalion would be shelling the people in the Donbass who didn't want to go along with that coup
I
government.
feel like you're saying a lot of Russian propaganda. Azov battalion is Ukrainian defenders of special forces. Think of like the Marines or the Navy SEALs. So these are all people that volunteered, and it's to be part of the battalion. So they've never hurt Ukrainians, if that makes sense. So that's something the Russian propaganda puts out. So I'm not sure if I can follow the line of the of thinking that you're proposing because it's based on Russian propaganda. I'm sorry.
So you're not aware of the shelling of the Donbass?
What I'm aware of is what you're saying is based on Russian propaganda.
So okay, so that didn't happen. The government didn't shell the people in the Donbass.
Ukrainian government?
Yeah.
No, Russian government did that.
Oh, okay. And so, but you're not familiar with the Minsk peace accords?
Can I ask what you're asking me about? What
Well, I'm
point
trying
you're
to-
trying to make?
Well, I'm trying to understand if you understand what actually led to the war and the invasion, and it doesn't seem like you do. Because
I think it's a very rude thing to say to a Ukrainian person if I'm answering all of your questions and you're trying to convince me to sound like something else. I'm not sure if you're trying to get views or what, but
I'm just trying to ask you questions.
Yeah, but you're asking me things that you're like, well, I don't know what you're trying to prove here.
No, I'm just
If you have a real question, I already told you that.
Okay.
I answered your question.
Okay. I was just trying to find out if you knew the steps that led up to when Russia invaded. It was the threat of.
I answered that specific question.
Okay.
Is there any other questions? that you
Okay. I guess that'll be it then.
have? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. She doesn't know a thing about what she's talking about, and she doesn't know what the Minsk peace accords were. She doesn't know what the Azov Battalion are Nazis. She doesn't know that the Ukraine government was shelling the Donbass. She doesn't know anything. She just thinks that Putin woke up one day and decided to invade Ukraine. Okay. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.